राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय 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 राम।
एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। है दयाल हरि, है कृपाल हरि, तू याचक होकर आ तो सही। है दयालु हरि, है कृपालु हरि, तू याचक होकर आ तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले। फिर सुध तन मन की पिसार के गाँव, फिर प्रेम में सब कुछ हार के गाँव। फिर सुध तन मन की पिसार के गाँव, फिर प्रेम में सब कुछ हार के गाँव। वह जन्म मरण के साथी है, वह जन्म मरण के साथी है। तू प्रभु को अपना बना तो सही, बना तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। फिर सारे बंधन तोड़ देगा, जंजाल जगत के छोड़ के गा। फिर सारे बंधन तोड़ के गा, जंजाल जगत के छोड़ के गा। प्रभु आएंगे मन मंदिर में, प्रभु आएंगे मन मंदिर में। तू प्रेम का दीप जला तो सही, जला तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। तू गोविंद गोविंद गाए जा, हरि नाम की धुन तू लगाए जा। तू गोविंद 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 गाए जा, हरि नाम की धुन तू लगाए जा। तू गोविंद गोविंद गाए जा, हरि नाम की धुन तू लगाए जा। प्रभु रह न सकेंगे आएंगे, प्रभु रह न सकेंगे आएंगे। शरणागत हो तू बुला तो सही, बुला बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। है दयाल हरि, है कृपाल हरि, तू याचक होकर आ तो सही। है दयाल है कृपाल हरि, तू याचक होकर आ तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। है दयाल हरि, है कृपाल हरि, तू याचक होकर आ तो सही। है दयाल हरि, है कृपाल हरि, तू याचक होकर आ तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले। फिर सुध तन मन की पिसार के गाँव, फिर प्रेम में सब कुछ हार के गाँव। फिर सुध तन मन की पिसार के गाँव, फिर प्रेम में सब कुछ हार के गाँव। वह जन्म मरण के साथी है, वह जन्म मरण के साथी है। तू प्रभु को अपना बना तो सही, बना तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। फिर सारे बंधन तोड़ देगा, जंजाल जगत के छोड़ के गा। फिर सारे बंधन तोड़ के गा, जंजाल जगत के छोड़ के गा। प्रभु आएंगे मन मंदिर में, प्रभु आएंगे मन मंदिर में। तू प्रेम का दीप जला तो सही, जला तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। तू गोविंद गोविंद गाए जा, हरि नाम की धुन तू लगाए जा। तू गोविंद 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 गाए जा, हरि नाम की धुन तू लगाए जा। तू गोविंद गोविंद गाए जा, हरि नाम की धुन तू लगाए जा। प्रभु रह न सकेंगे आएंगे, प्रभु रह न सकेंगे आएंगे। शरणागत हो तू बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। एक बार तू नाम हरि का ले, एक बार तू हरि को बुला तो सही, बुला तो सही। है दयाल हरि, है कृपाल हरि, तू
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय 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 श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय
Not able to hear, Swamiji.
ओम श्री राम जय
Shri Ram. Hari Om Pranam Swami.
Not Hari Om Pranam. Swami.
Pranam, 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 pranam. So the first chapter,
Pranam.
pranam, pranam, pranam.
One person is saying they can't hear. Everyone else can hear?
Yes.
We are clear.
Yes.
Okay, so only one person can't hear. Okay, that may be their device problem.
But not clear.
Hari Om, is that clear?
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Yes,
Clear?
Swami. Yes, yes, Swami.
So in this round, we have completed the first article and completed reading or sharing, not completed the study. Study is an ongoing one. If again we try to look upon it, we may unearth something. So let it go on individually. For the sake of satsang, we will just continue this. So the first article, which talks about subtle and mysterious energy, and then from there we move to the first chapter. There are so many points that came up, just we are touching. Utter helplessness leads to intense prayer from the bottom of the heart. Prayers are answered intuitively from the core of our being, the great void. We should keep on trying, Even if we get a small interval, we will try to. When you are chanting, slow down the chanting, stop the chanting. Because the purpose of chanting is to become aware of it, no? It's not for chanting. So the gap between the sound Similarly, prayers are answered intuitively from the core of our being, the great void. By arresting all our thoughts, at least for a few seconds, we have some direct experience about that great void. It may be only for a few seconds. Again, the thought may come. Great void, a synonym of Ram, stands for the all-enveloping reality which remains ever untouched, unaffected by the different characteristics that separate one from the rest. Intellectually, we will understand now. That's all. Experiential level, when we know, we will realize that. It might give us, it remains untouched. However much we say, we will not be able to understand. But you stop talking, thinking, what happens? That. Go to the source of everything. It's a wonderful clue for us. Intense faith leads to trust. Faith we are not handed over. Trust we will be able to hand over. Faith we can say the preparatory step. Again, these are all intellectual level. One should know what it is. Just because we read and understand the literal meaning, it may not help us much. But contemplating on the theme might give us some more clue. Preparatory steps: fixed resolve, sustained faith, optimistic outlook, self-denial, satsang through swadhyaya. These are all the hints, from the first chapter we get. Fixed. Clarity we should get, then only fixed resolve will come. Sustained faith. Optimistic outlook. Self-denial. And satsang through swadhyaya. What we find is, when we say sadhyaya, let us not think that we have to read the whole books. We read a few portions, then close the book and contemplate. Because unlike our usual reading, here our reading is not to complete the book. So we want to get ourselves connected to the core of our being, that's all. At the moment it is unaware, so an effort to become aware through the words of Mahatmas. Because when they have scaled the heights, they give out their revelations. It might help us. Because without any guidance, when we start doing it, In some cases, God blesses them. In some cases, we get stranded. So that is why they then prompts us to meet saints or go through the words of saints. First, the company of saints is necessary. That alone inspires us. Then we start asking, what is it that made me to get inspired by his look? Day first day we were talking about Puja Swamiji, So when we remember him, what is it that some traits, something that gets connected with our inner setup. That is why we find joy. Even to remember him now, he has dropped the body 17 years back. But even now we can remember and enjoy his company. So satsang means not merely, but assimilate the whole thing. So that whether they are physically here or not, does not matter. Any Mahatma. It applies to any Mahatma. If we just casually go, and then it may not have any. Many Mahatmas we see, it doesn't leave any deep impression because we don't get connected. Overall superficial reverence will be there. We have heard that he or she has been instrumental in inspiring innumerable devotees or aspirants. So we revere, but we don't go deep, Only in certain cases we are prompted to go deep. These are all the practical side. It is not belittling any importance, but God has got his own way of making us to get connected with us, not with everybody. And a stage will come when we don't crave for it because we have to take it from whatever he has provided whenever we need. So satsang through swadhyay. Code of conduct, simple living habits to gain more mind space for God remembrance. Just because we read, we are not going to leave anything, but suppose we keep it in our mind, some percentage we might be able to. Introspection to know whether the me and mine or sense of possession is reducing. That we can try. We don't have to tom-tom, but in our mind we will be clearing. There is no one attached. There is no possession that overpowers us. And remember him be the period ever so small. These are all the clues. So we go to the second. Let us see. Now from the narrow pond of a worldly life, Ram had lifted up his slave to throw him into the extensive ocean of a universal life. But to swim in the wide ocean, Ram knew Ramdas wanted strength and courage, for gaining which Ram intended to make his ignorant and untrained slave to pass through a course of severe discipline, and this under his direct guidance and support. So one night, while engaged in drinking in the sweetness of his name, Ramdas was made to think in the following strain. O Ram, when thy slave finds thee at once so powerful and so loving, and that he who trusts thee can be sure of true peace and happiness, why should he not throw himself entirely on thy mercy, which can only be possible by giving up everything he called mine? Thou art all in all to thy slave. Thou art the sole protector in the world. Men are deluded when they declare, I do this, I do that, this is mine, that is mine. All, O Ram, is thine. All things are done by thee alone. Thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. This para, you have to keep on hammering. Because the I-ness is reading, It will only read. And the I-ness agrees. I-ness is convinced that only when this I-ness goes, that complete surrender will take place. So the prayer, only the prayer, we cannot do anything by ourselves. So we take it that this para makes us to understand that there should be a heartfelt prayer. And prayer for what? Prayer by the sense of individuality to remove its dominance on Allah, to remove its dominance. So in quest of God, can we take it that this is the primary thing? Retaining my I-ness in its fullest command, it is difficult, to plunge into in quest of God. Unknowingly, unwittingly, we are all retaining the sense of individuality, we are trying. Though we get some thrill, some joy, it is not making us to become aware of His presence within. And it is now intellectually made to know that unless this I reduces its grip on us, we will not be able to rely on Him or seek His guidance. Retaining this when we seek, it will not go within. Very, very tough. This prayer was heard. Ramdas's heart heaved a deep sigh. A hazy desire to renounce all and wander over the earth in the garb of a mendicant in quest of Ram wafted over his mind. Now Ram prompted him to open at random the book Light of Asia, which was before him at the time. His eyes rested upon the pages wherein is described the great renunciation of Buddha, who says, From now, the hour is come when I should quit this golden prison, where my heart lives caged, to find the truth which henceforth I will seek for all men's sake until the truth be found. Then Ramdas simply opened the New Testament and lighted upon the following definite words of Jesus Christ. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Then again, he was actuated in the same way to refer to Bhagavad Gita, and he read the following shloka: Sarvadharman Parityaj, Sarvadharman Parityaj, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami, Ma Shuchaha. Abandoning all duties, come to me alone for shelter. Sorrow not, I will liberate thee from all sins. Ram had thus spoken out through the words of these three great avatars, Buddha, Christ, and Krishna, and all of them pointed to the same truth, same path, renunciation. At once Ramdas made up his mind to give up for the sake of Ram all that he till then hugged to his bosom as his own and leave the samsaric world. During this period, he was very simple in his dress, which consisted of a piece of cloth covering the upper part of the body and another wound round the lower part. Next day he got two clothes of this kind dyed in Gerua or red ochre, and the same wrote two letters, one to his wife with whom Ram had made him to look upon for some time past as his sister, and another to a kind friend whom Ram had brought in touch with Ramdas for his deliverance from debts. The resolution was made. At 5 o'clock in the morning, he bade farewell to a world for which he had lost all attraction and in which he could find nothing to call his own. Body, mind, soul, all were laid at the feet of Ram, the eternal being, full of love, full of mercy. Beautifully he portrays, the practical way of renunciation. Not because somebody said, not because this, no. If you take from the first paragraph, he was feeling that we must rely on him. That came because he was at that time itself convinced that everything is happening only by his will. And our job is only to get rid of this individual will. And for that, some drastic measure. So then this will all happen. Mysteriously, we will be led to such inspiring words of illumined people, evolved souls. And immediately it gets triggered. And in the passage of divinity, where Chandrasekhar Rao has written, even he, in this beautiful word, God who is behind this also conspired to bring out a situation where at the time of Papa leaving, nobody was at home. Otherwise there will be some scene, no? He cannot just go out of the room without telling. And naturally, child and the wife, they will not be able to take it like that. So there's a lot of commotions. So God arranged, beautiful.
How about Buddha, Swamiji?
Eh?
Papa. He's asking
Buddha.
whether Buddha or Papa.
Buddha also has done like that.
Buddha also just walked out. We don't know much about that. The very Ram to whom he was praying for deliverance from worldly bondage now conspired with his devotee to make it easier for him. What a beautiful line. The very Ramdas had spoken out through the words of these two great incarnations, three, Buddha, Christ and Krishna. All of them pointed out to the same path, the path of renunciation. At once Ramdas made up his mind to give up for the sake of Ram all that he till then hugged to his bosom as his own and get out of the bondage of worldly life. That's all. The very Ram to whom he was praying for deliverance from worldly bondage now conspired with his devotee to make it easier for him to go away from worldly life. Just then it so happened that both his wife and daughter were invited to stay for a couple of days at the farmer's father's house in the town and were away from the home. In Mangalore only. Seizing this valuable opportunity, Vittal Rao, without anybody's knowledge, purchased a small quantity of red ochre and coming home dyed two of his color clothes in the sacred color. The same night he wrote two letters. One to his wife, who had made him who had been looked upon as his sister, and the other to his friend, his partner in his house, because they have to exist, May have made arrangement, not that he just walked out. So, the resolution was made. So, what are the points? We are hearing in what way to help us? If we just go by the what he has written, it will be there in our memory. To what extent it helps us? We will see from the hints and any new hints you can tell. Renunciation is throwing ourselves entirely at his mercy. Renunciation is tested only by exposing ourselves to the outer world. Before taking any drastic step in the spiritual journey, seek guidance from masters. Inner dialogue takes place only when the hold of the sense of individuality lessens. Removing the sense of I-ness is a must. Prayer becomes most effective when it is original and in one's own words. Total detachment paves the way to take the final plunge. While doing so, ensure that there are no loose ends at the Vyavaharik level. So now we know we cannot jump.
Because what came to my mind? That inspiration can come, but it is us to act upon it, no, Swamiji?
Inspiration will be there, but some preparatory steps.
It is for us to act upon it, no?
He started chanting. He started denying everything for himself. He was remaining at home.
Swamiji, going to Light of Asia, New Testament and that of Bhagavad Gita corrupts admired him to ponder over and think men deeply, to shell off all the household and then carry on the renunciation.
No, to what extent it helps us to know all these things,
Yes, Swamiji.
That is important. We are rereading this to know that can be applied to us now and here.
But Jeruva or red ochre சொல்றாங்களே அது நம்ம பார்க்கல இல்லையா? ஒயிட் தான் நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம் இல்லையா?
என்னது
ஒயிட் ஒக்கர் தான் ஜெருவா ரெட் ஒக்கர்னு போட்டிருக்கு இல்லையா?
இப்போ நாங்கள்லாம் போட்டுருக்கிறது தானே,
ஆ
நாங்கள்லாம் போட்டுருக்கிறது தானே கெருவா.
நீங்க போட்டிருக்கீங்க, அவர் போடலையா? அவர் ஒயிட்ல தானே பார்த்துருக்கேன்.
ஒயிட் லேட்டர் தானே,
லேட்டர்
அவரே எடுத்து விட்டார். ஏன்னா later on he found it was distancing him from others. It had served its purpose, and after that പിന്നെ എല്ലാവരും നമസ്കാരം பண்ணுவோம். இப்போ நாங்கள்லாம் அவசரப்பட்டுருக்கோமே, எல்லோரும் நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணுவோம். எல்லோரும் வந்து പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഒരിടത്തിൽ ഒരു പ്ലേറ്റിൽ ഉட்காരത്ത് നമുക്ക് സ്പെഷ്യൽ പ്ലേറ്റ് വരും. നമ്മളൊരു இடத்துல உட்காரத்து அதுக்கு ஒரு ஆசனத்தை கொண்டு போடுவா. அப்போ தென் ஹி வாஸ் ஃபீலிங் இட் இரிட்டேட்டட். அந்த செப்பரேட்னஸ் ஆக்க மாதிரி வரும். வேறு வி வாண்ட் டு பிகம் ஒன் வித் எவ்ரிபடி. We remember when we went to Anekati to meet Swami Dayanji Maharaj about 15 years back. We had all discussions, and then Swamiji said we will have our meal together and then go. Then immediately he said, I have got now Upanishad class. I said, I will also come, Swamiji. So then when he got up, went and brought his sandals, and somebody immediately rushed up to get his walking stick. I was looking at Swamiji. Swamiji was pleading, why don't you make me to take it by myself, at least one. Though it is very, I should not use that word, but we have heard somebody using the word, killing with kindness. Out of respect only, out of care and concern only. So these are all the things that happens when you feel somebody is a saint, with an ochre cloth. So Papa got fed up with that, and then he wrote, this is the one which distances me from the rest of the creation. So then he defined Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyas, and Karma Yoga is superior to Karma Sannyas. But we should also know that Karma Sannyas lays the foundation for Karma Yoga. So for some time that was necessary for him, and then there are many people who don't wear this ochre. They have reached that stage. Even Mataji did not change her clothes. She did not change her name. So just imagine. Sri Anandamaya did not do that. Ramana Bhagavan did not do that. There are many. We have come across many. Nisargadatta Maharaj did not do that. They were all living where they were. Unknowingly, unwittingly, we develop this, and it is not going to help us, accepting a sentimental feeling. To be blunt, they will be happy if we treat everybody as one. We had many occasions. For example, you must have heard about the great saint, realized saint, Narayana Guru Swami of Kerala. His direct disciple, Nataraja Guru, we had the blessed privilege of meeting him. He will be one with he has not changed his clothes. No, I think he changed, okay. Then again he was wearing. And then he will serve, he will cook, he will be joking, he will be sitting, he will also be taking classes. You don't feel any otherness with him. Very free. Similarly, his disciple, Guru Nitya Chaitanyati, in Wayanad they have an ashram. So whenever we come to know that he has come there, we used to go there, a little far off from the main road. So once morning when I checked up there, he himself was cutting fruits, and in a big bowl, different types of fruits mixed up, and then he was giving to this thing. They also join by bringing water, bowl, knife, everything. But he does the job of cutting it and mixing it, making it a fruit salad. and then he himself will give. There's a joy in him. So when we stepped there, we were also immediately given. There is no separateness. So what is renunciation? No? Renunciation does not mean that you are distancing yourself from somebody. In fact, you become, as Gandhiji and Vinobaji used to say, you are trying to become a nobody, no?
So, yes, no.
So every now and then, even when lovingly offered, we should lovingly decline, or we may have to show our body language that we are not happy with that, so that they will not do it again. And as far as possible, doing everything by oneself. Anapeksha. Anapeksha, Shuchi, Daksha, Udasino, Gatavyada, Sarvaram Parityagi, Yomat Bhakta Samepriya. Anapeksha means not depending upon anybody for anything, not out of arrogance, not to give any trouble to anybody. So renunciation is throwing ourselves entirely at His mercy. Renunciation is tested only by exposing ourselves to the outer world. So Papa was practicing him. He was spending about 22 hours of the 24 hours in chanting. He was leading a simple life. He was getting detached from everything. Entire priority has been shifted. But he did not stop there. Still there is a house. Still there is somebody who says, my husband, my father. No? So he wanted.
And around him, children and many, local people were there in the photos, old photos.
So renunciation is tested. Renunciation is tested only by exposing ourselves to the outer world. You are right. When we were in Wayanad, we were staying separately alone. Nice life. Nearby there is a small temple. So one Swami came from Calicut. We picked him up from the junction, Chundel, and brought him in our two-wheeler. And the evening we went for the program, came back, we cooked, both of us ate. And next day early morning when he got up, he was looking at the whole atmosphere, and we started telling him what a beautiful place, this serene atmosphere. Nobody is there to talk. So no lesser reactions. All the time is for ourselves. We feel highly satisfied. You know what he said? He said, don't stop. Here you are something. Unknowingly it gives you the guarantee, security. At the subconscious state, at the open, you say all these things. But here is a place for you to come, a place for you to stay. You are surrounded by people who love you, care you. And though you are not expecting, it is there in your mind. When you expose yourself where you are not known, then watch whether you have the same mental background. If it is there, no harm in staying here. Very, very thought-provoking. Not that we expect anything from anybody, but this is a subtle level, that a sense of security, that will be there, I can go and stay in my house. When I go there, people will come and ask. This will come. So though he was with his family, and though he was internally detached, still the final test is, that is why he said, Thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his highness. And the first one he says, he who trusts thee can be sure of true peace and happiness. Why should he not? When we know that we are 100% taken care of by him, why should he not throw himself entirely on thy mercy? Entirely. Which can only be possible by giving up everything he called mine. Everything he called mine. This is what the Swami touched in, reminded us. As we don't go to any public programs, people need not know me at all, So when we go and they are in the railway station or bus stand, nobody will recognize. We are one with everybody. Suppose you land at Mangalore. Nobody will bother. Then how do you react to events and individuals? It's a wonderful word. So, renunciation is tested only by exposing ourselves to the outer world. Before taking any drastic step in the spiritual journey, seek guidance from masters. Removing the sense of highness is a must. At least we must keep it as our goal. So removing the sense of highness is a must. Very difficult. We can read only. We make an attempt. Inner dialogue takes place only when the hold of the sense of individuality lessens. He talked, Inner dialogue. Prayer becomes most effective when it is original and in one's own words. The first para and the second para, it is his original prayer, It is not he was repeating universal prayer or this prayer or that prayer. It doesn't leave any deep impress. But here it is originated. Being in an organization, we should have some setup, so we have this prayer. For a newcomer also, it might help them. Guru Sthiti, everything. So there should be a follow. But as a sadhaka, my prayer should come out from my own heart. Prayer becomes most effective when it is original and in one's own words. Total detachment paves the way to take the final plunge. While doing so, ensure that there are no loose ends at the Vyavahari.
Pronunciation of second para வந்து உள்ள பக்தியான சரண்டர் உள்ள பிரார்த்தனை இருக்குது டிவோஷனல் பக்திபரமான மென்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டே இல்லையா சாமிஜி
பேசுறது தெரியறது இல்லையா we are praying to whom அது பக்தி தானே
praying to almighty
who he is praying as a devotee and Bhagavan and Bhakta is there
almighty from within he is praying.
He was not relying on anything outside, but he was able to have this inner dialogue. Inner dialogue takes place only when the hold of the sense of individuality lessens.
I
couldn't hear what he said.
Inna?
Vivekananda
Sharma, Inna?
Good.
இல்ல என்ன தெரியல
Oh, he went offline. He went offline.
புரிஞ்சுதா?
Inner dialogue.
Inner dialogue. And the last one is also important. Just because you get, there are vyavaharic dealings there. So he did not just walk out. Wife and child are there, they have to exist. So he made necessary provisions. That is why the second letter to the partner. That is what is mentioned. While doing so, ensure that there are no loose ends at the vyavaharic level. He did not just went out, go out. He went out after making sufficient provision for their upkeep, maintenance. So renunciation is throwing ourselves entirely at his mercy. That means we also take it now that not that impulsively you feel and then go, no. Sufficient preparation. In his case, it took 2 years. 2 years. From 1920 to 1922, December 27th. So this preparation is number one, necessary. Getting ourselves riveted to a discipline. Chanting, self-denial, withdrawal, self-denial is withdrawal. Okay. And developing reliance on him more and more. And the final plunge seals it. Till he left, his involvement in the business is still there. Partner is there. So that also has to be cut. And again, that is why he took 25 rupees. Later on we will find that. So people may wonder why is still that 25 rupees. It's all right, 25 rupees. And in the next 2 or 3 days you will find he disposed of that. 25 rupees in 1920 is a big amount, very big amount. And then we understand that the cutting, it is not abrupt, it is gradual. Anyway, those who are hearing, we are not for this line, so we will not spend more time on this because reading half a dozen times is not going to help us much. Wherever we are, we will try to concentrate more on his. Let us be practical. None of us, after reading this, none of us are going to follow what Papa did. Neither the mind nor the intellect nor the body will cooperate with us. So, but we will try to understand this and pray to him to give us the necessary, mental strength to imbibe at least 1% or 2% of what he has written. None of us will be able to free ourselves from the creature's comfort zone. Mostly because of our habit and because of our age. The limitation caused by the age also is there. He could do it when he was 38 years old. So after hearing this, we cannot jump into the conclusion. So in what way is going to help us? We can develop an inner culture to the extent possible. We will define our own method of renunciation. which will connect to this higher general renunciation.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
normally we pray. How can we find that it has been heard? Here in the third paragraph, this prayer was heard. Ramdas heart heaved a deep sigh. Hazy desire to renounce all and wander over the earth in the garb of a mendicant. அது எப்படி அது மாதிரி அந்த ஃபீலிங் வந்தது அவருக்கு?
He was not simply praying. Before that prayer, 2 years he has been doing so many things.
Yes, yes.
Then only the prayer will be heard.
Yes.
Simply reading his words and if we repeat the prayer, it will not be heard. Because we keep everything to ourselves, you know.
But he accepts the prayer, this prayer was heard, therefore when he went on wandering here and there just like a mendicant.
But 2 years, you know. 2 years.
Yes.
So now, can we imagine that? We are all free now. Can we do anything like that? At least she had a family. No, we are not dependent upon anybody. Nobody is dependent upon us. We can do so many things, but we cannot. But he did it.
Because he was in quest of wrong.
So we cannot compare what.
Yes.
In this chapter, when we read, it will be only an academic exercise for us. Because not 1% we will be able to implement, blunt truth. But still, then why is he making us to go through? We can, in a subtle form, we can try to imbibe something and devise our own formula of renunciation. For example, freeing our mind from detached from as many relations, as many possessions, without tom-tomming it. Whether we can manage with 10 items, you know, whether we can manage with 9 items or 8 items. Why not we stop demanding? Whatever comes to us, we will try to accept. Individually. For collectively, you may have to do that. Individually, suppose we say we reduce our demands. These are some of the ways by which we can try to some extent. Renunciation. Not keeping anything for ourselves only. Something.
Each and every word has pregnant meaning. At random, he just went to the book like Asia and then the New Testament and that of the Bhagavad Gita. That made it.
So we can try in our own way, whether we are 50, 60, 70, 80 or 80 plus, in our own way, accommodating or giving due consideration for the limitation imposed on us by the aging process, by our physical debilities. Still we can find out some areas where we can try to implement without tom-tomming, without maintaining.
Yes, Swamiji.
So this is the message it gives. Plus, we can develop this inner dialogue. Satsang. Inner dialogue will enable us to bring out our own prayer.
Yes, sir.
These are something, you know, if the second chapter.
It is sequential. It is, by going through it is sequential.
Frequently going through
One
it.
after another. Continuity is there.
No. So we will try this from today onward. We will try whatever is possible.
Inner dialogue. When it is not, we can hear the dialogue only when the chatter in the mind is subsided. Till then, it is only a prayer.
It's all right. That will lead us to. It will be a chattering, no doubt, initially. But when we go through this again and again, That is why this word is given. Inner dialogue takes place only when the hold of the sense of individuality lessens. When I feel I cannot do anything, I start, why don't you make me aware? Why are you not showing me the answer? Why are you not giving me the necessary strength to bear this? I slip. I don't want to slip, but I slip. Why don't you give me the strength? I commit something. I never knew that it was bothering others. The moment I know it was bothering others, I should not have done it. Why don't you make me to avoid such things? These are all some of the things it can be termed as inner dialogue. So inner dialogue, when it gets matured, we can say it becomes the prayer. And it's not borrowed words of anybody, your own words. Because you have understood now what is to be, how my life to be lived, but I am unable to live up to it. I fall. My old habits take possession of me and I fall. So then, why are you making me to do this? Please, please. This is how we start. So this second chapter gives us a lot of practical clues. If we are to go simply by what Papa has written, probably that word will not convey anything to us. But suppose we go deeper into it, it will definitely convey a lot to us and give us some hints or direction as to how in 2025, what you did in 1922, 103 years back, 103 years back, that we may not be able to do. But we can interpret it in a way which we can implement and understand in 2025. So it is not, we are trying to copy. We are trying to take the essence out of it and now bringing out a formula which is practical for us. Each one will know what is practical. So the second chapter now we find it gives a lot of clues. Yes, not that simply we have to...
Lot of clues, inner feelings of Papaji, that's spoken out through the words of these three great authors, Buddha, Christ, Krishna, and all of them pointed out the same path, that is renunciation. So at once Ramdas made up his mind to give up the same set of forms, all that he till then hugged to his bosom, as his own. Let's leave the samsaric path, sequential.
So after reading it again, all of us will try to at least not 1%, some steps we can take. The first one and the second one. So,
yes.
three things we have now. One is something about subtle and mysterious power, some idea, great void, self-denial.
It is a leap or salary point of woman determination that is to be taken by an individual.
He is like Swamiji speak.
Yeah.
So let us try that. Otherwise, this reading will become again, it may not serve us much, excepting the joy we get during the reading. So let us do some plumbing. In our own way, we will try to interpret. Each one will interpret in our own way. The first chapter and the struggle and the initiation and the renunciation, and try in our own best, because we will not deceive ourselves. When we try to implement something, we will not deceive ourselves. So what is practically possible only we will try, without making any publicity, without any tom-tomming. Silently we will try. Probably that is the purpose for which now he is most motivating us to go through it again. Let us see from the third chapter what does it give to us. Hari Om.
Inner dialogue today, when the mind is disturbed, நம்ம பேசுறோம் அவர்கிட்ட, அப்போ அது வந்து கரெக்டா? When we are disturbed, Swamiji.
When we are disturbed?
We speak, we open our heart to him. அது கரெக்டா?
கரெக்டு தானே, கரெக்டு. எல்லாத்துக்குமே எல்லாம் கரெக்டு தானே. Anything that is happening, anything that is happening inside is correct because the moment we know he makes us to do that. We may not know that throughout our period. He makes us restless, we know. He is making us to become restless. And so we talk to him. என்னத்துக்கு இப்படி பண்ண வைக்கிறான் என்ன? என்னவாக அந்த பாட்டு? விளையாடு இது இல்லை அல்ல சொல்கிறேன். நானொரு விளையாட்டு பொம்மையா? என்னை இப்படி கதற வைக்கிறது உனக்கு சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கா? என்னது வேர்டு? என்னை கதற வைக்கிறது உனக்கு சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கா? ஆர் யூ ஃபீலிங் ஹாப்பி வென் ஐ கிரை? திங்க் அபவுட், தே ஆல் நோ தட், தே வில் டூ தட். கேட்டுங்க. அதனாலேயே அது அந்த பாட்டெல்லாம் வந்தது. ஸோ தட் நமக்கு வார்த்தை, ஓ ഞാനൊരു വിളയാട്ടു ബൊമ്മയാ, നായകിയെ ഉമയെ. അതിൽ വരുമത്, അതിൽ ഒരു സ്റ്റാൻസാ വരുമതി. എന്നെ തിണ്ടാടെ വെച്ച് ഞാനിപ്പടി കതறது കേൾക്കുന്നത് എനിക്ക് സന്തോഷமாக இருக்கா? ആർ യു ഹാപ്പി when I scream? This sort of prayer, this sort of approach to him, not necessary. This will all help us. That is why he has provided all these things. Take him into task. Anyhow, let us see what is in store for tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Pranam Swami.
Pranam Swami. Pranam Swami. Hari Om.
Namaskaram Swamiji.
Pranam
Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Pranam.
Hari Om. Pranam. Pranam to one and all.